Hello friend, my name is Ash and this is the home of FC24 tactics on YouTube. No one does it better and more accurately than this channel right here. Today I have got for you quite a special one. Why is it special? Because I'll be honest with you, this is probably the most fun I've had playing with any system for a long time on recent FIFA games, not just FC24. This has been really fun and I'm really excited to get stuck into this one today. What we have for you is Enzo Maresca's Chelsea system, in particular looking at what it might look like in FC24. We take his style, his principles, his previous systems. We've already covered his previous system with Leicester on my Patreon, so do go and check that out in the description, either on the left hand side or down below. And what we do is we try and adapt that to this current Chelsea team to try and predict what his system and his approach may look like with the personnel we have available. Not only will I go through the tactics, but also I'll talk about why we've chosen specific players in certain roles and why they might be a great fit for his system as well. So with that being said, let's get stuck into the position changes. So in terms of the formation itself, we've got a 4-3-3. As you'll see, there are a couple of position changes that we've done here. First things first, we've adapted both fullbacks to become wing backs, but we've also pushed them in so that they are as close to the kind of central midfielders and the centre backs before you can't allow them anymore. What this is going to do is going to be the best way to create the inverted fullback role. At Leicester, he's tinkered with inverted fullbacks on both sides, the likes of Pereira and James, etc. Callum Doyle didn't take to it as well as someone like James Justin, but I think at this Chelsea side, you've got fullbacks like Chilwell and James. In this case, we've got Cucurella as well, who would really take to this kind of inverted fullback role, particularly someone like Reece James, who has played central midfield before. He's played the inverted fullback role. He's done a whole range of different roles, and I think he's perfectly suited to this one in particular. Likewise with the centre-backs, they've got a whole ton of centre-backs here. Chalobah, we think, is probably going to be sold by the hierarchy. We've still got Badiashile, Disasi, etc. Colwell and Fofana are the one I've opted for, but again, little bit of a lottery there. We've got Caicedo as the deep lying playmaker. Then as the attacking midfielders, what we've got is Gallagher and Fernandes. Now what we've done here is we've pushed these guys up. Gallagher is a right attacking midfielder and Fernandes is a left. What it does is it creates that kind of inverted pyramid that you've heard about so often, where they end up joining the kind of attacking three and forming that kind of front five when you're in possession in the opposing half. And then the kind of fullbacks will push up and help to form that central midfield trio with Caicedo. Umdenard about the personnel here a little bit. Talks about kind of Cole Palmer. Will he remain out wide? Would he prefer him as an attacking midfielder? I've eventually decided that he'd prefer him probably out wide. Sterling is someone he has a prior relationship with at Man City, so I think you could fairly safely assume that he'll kind of be in the mix there. Nkunku up front. Opted for him over Jackson because of the kind of technical traits. His profile suits that more in a system like this compared to someone like Nicholas Jackson, who is more effective with more space, a greater amount of space ahead of him. With regards to Fernandes, again, kind of opted for him in midfield. Again, Gallagher's someone. Will they sell him? Won't they sell him? We don't know for sure yet, but ultimately, we've seen how kind of effective he's been in this midfield. I think that's something that Maresca would kind of value. Now, from a tactical perspective then, what do we have? Well, we have pressure on heavy touch to the defensive style. This was similar to what we had in the Leicester system as well, and we decided to retain it for this time around. The team width is on 20, making it nice and compact, and then the depth is going to be on 70. That's going to give you that high block that I think they're going to have to utilise, particularly with the kind of the mid to lower blocks that they're going to be coming up against on a regular basis. Offensively, what do we have? Well, surprise, surprise, we have slow build-up for the build-up play, and then a chance creation is on possession, going to allow you to build up through the thirds, and it has been super effective at doing this. You'll notice on the gameplay down below, the way that the roles and the positions are set up, paired with this approach, has just been pretty ultimate in terms of a possession-based system, and is very effective indeed. The width is on 10. It's going to condense it nice and narrow. What this helps with the most is those inverted fullbacks. It pushes them in and tucks them in more, getting them closer to the central midfielders. The fact that we're going to have the player instructions for the wingers a little bit different is going to create that width. It's going to help them to stay wide, whereas these inverted fullbacks are really going to condense and help to form that central midfield trio. The players in the box is on 6. That's going to give you roughly 4 players in the box in crossing situations. And then finally with the corners and free kicks, both of these are on 4. Now, what do we have from a player instructions perspective then? Well, we're going to go through this, but before we do, I quickly want to say, if you want to see exclusive tactics videos, such as that Enzo Maresca's Leicester tactics that I spoke about a little bit earlier, you want access to the FC24 tactics package, you want access to behind the scenes videos of my scouting career, Discord server access and all that good stuff, check out my Patreon. The links are in the description and the comment section. The best way to support the channel. I've got lots of fantastic people supporting me on there, over 200 of you now, and still climbing every single day. So I want to say a huge thank you for that support. You guys are keeping the channel going, and if you haven't already subscribed to it, then go and check it out, because I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Lots of exclusive tactics on there, and well worth your time. So moving back on to the player instructions then, starting off with Sanchez in goal, who we've opted for over Petrovic. We've got him on comes and crosses and sweeper keeper. The two centre backs for Fana and Colwill, don't need to make any changes there, so you can leave them as they are. With James and Chilwell, we've already spoken about them being the inverted fullbacks, and the best way to replicate that, as well as adjusting their position, is for these instructions here. Join the attack on attacking runs, but then their run type is going to be on inverted, and that's going to be the same for both of them. Now we've opted with Caicedo as his defensive midfielder. Whether or not he can play that sole pivot, yet to see, but we'll find out surely if this does kind of go through. We've got him on defensive behaviour, cut passing lanes. His attacking support is naturally going to be stable whilst attacking. Cover centre through his defensive position. The inverted fullback should be covering out wide. And in position freedom, is going to be deep line playmakers to get him dropping into them pockets. It's going to help you progress the ball out from the defence to a more effective level. Fernandez and Gallagher then, what do we have? Well, a couple of different instructions here. With Gallagher, we've got him on comeback on defence, get into the box of the cross, and his positioning freedom is drift wide. Now with Fernandez, it's a little bit different, because this time his support on crosses is only going to be on balanced crossing runs. He's someone who, yes, may occasionally get into the box, but what you're looking for here from this Enzo Maresca system is you're going to have a more advanced pivot. Someone is going to be on the edge of the area, just floating, just in case the ball kind of drops to that area. So as a result, we've got him on balanced crossing runs. Both of them on drift wide. They're going to get out into the half channels to support the wide men and make sure that they aren't too isolated, and this works nicely. So as we've spoken about already, we've opted for Palmer and Sterling in the wide areas. You've also got the likes of Madueke, you've got Mudryk there as well as a couple of others, and Kunku can play out there. In this case, we've got the same instructions for both of them. Come back on defence to get them tracking back. Chance creation is stay wide. We mentioned about how this is going to create the width in your team. This is what's going to be able to stretch the opposition back line, and that's what's going to do. They're going to stay close to the touchline. Support runs is going to be getting behind, and then support on crosses is getting to the box of the cross. And as I say, it is the same for both Sterling and Palmer. Nkunku up top then, who we opted for over Nicholas Jackson. His support runs are going to be on stay central, and attacking runs are on mixed attack. Finally, his defence support is going to be on stay forward. So we're going to round it off there. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you've got any questions about the system. Chelsea fans usually like to challenge me and have a problem with something I say whenever I cover their team, so no doubt I'll get a little bit of that, challenging certain personnel or positions or what have you. But otherwise, do let me know if you've got any questions about the system, and I'll do my best to answer you. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notifications every time I upload, and obviously, as I said, don't forget to check out my Patreon. Fantastic perks on there, exclusive tactics videos, PSV, Leicester, we've got Sheffield Wednesday, we've got Ipswich, we've got Southampton, Galatasaray, we've got Girona on there. We've got a whole range of tactics. I forget some of them as well, so do go and check them ones out. And until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.